you can have an amazing looking website and fix your product imagery and videos. What if at the core of your product and your whole offer is just not solid? It doesn't really stand out in the marketplace. Can still make sales, but getting really good ROAS, that's just gonna be hard.
Welcome to the Mastering E-commerce Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Eitan Koter, co-CEO of Vimy. In an era of rising acquisition costs and increased competition, this podcast is dedicated to helping you drive sales, engage customers, and build meaningful communities so you can turn passive visitors into active buyers. Now let's get started with the episode. Happy to welcome Lars Hauwert to the show today. Lars, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Eitan.
Sure. Excited for this episode? Plenty of things to share today, right?
For sure, yeah, we can get into everything related to e-commerce. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm very excited.
I always love to speak to people who actually did it by themselves, right? I mean, you build your own brand, Nancy Home Store, with substantial revenues, even exit, and also now you're working with the medium large enterprises and brands. So love to chat with you. But before we get started, Lars, if you can share 3 words that are most important to you and why.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say first word for me, great question, by the way. I really like this kind of things to think about. But first is care, because I usually care about like definitely my family, people I'm close to, close friends of mine, my girlfriend, like just that you're within my circle. Like I just care about you, like like family basically. So that's first. Then secondly, I had excellence. Just everything I do, I just want to be excellent at, essentially. Just if I do something, I really commit to that thing, just to make sure I'm actually like doing it to the fullest of my capabilities, right? So that's second. And then third is dedication. Kind of goes hand in hand with excellence, I think, but just to be like giving my all and just dedicated to the process, and also getting fulfillment out of that. So I'm not like only looking at outcomes, and there is where you're getting your reward from, like just dedicating to that process, really just enjoying that whole journey has been really good for me. That's why I also picked that as the last word.
Wow, it's very nice. It's like a really nice circle of, starting from care, going through excellence, and then dedication. So like being consistent is so important, right? One of the key differentiators for successful entrepreneurs. So Lars, what are you busy with these days?
So right now I'm fully focused on just helping my e-com store clients, essentially, just to excel, just helping them basically optimize all the different stages of their funnel. So basically their websites, even their assortment in the first place, optimizing that, helping them with logistics as well if needed even, and then basically getting people on that website that are like qualified, looking for that product that they're offering. Once, of course, the website is optimized, and then also just converting as many of those people landing on the website as possible. So either just directly through the website, or also by capturing leads, and then basically having a sales process to convert as many of those leads as possible into sales as well. And then also making them buy over and over again. It's like lifetime value optimization. So it's essentially my whole day, every day, just improving that process as much as possible. Yeah.
What are the most common problems or challenges that you see right now that brand founders are facing?
The most challenging things, I would say, in the first place, just having products that actually are good. Because especially if you want to dropship, like you can definitely put it off to dropship, but you gotta like go the extra mile and just have something of value, right? Because you can have an amazing looking website and fix your product imagery and videos. Like nowadays with AI, that's really doable. But if like at the core, like your value proposition of like your product and your whole offer is just not solid, it doesn't really stand out in the marketplace, then you can still make sales, but it's getting like those really good ROASs and very profitable stores. That's just gonna be hard. Like you gotta give something that not many other stores are giving, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to know more about Nancy Home Store. Can you share a little bit about this brand and your success and what actually worked for you
Mm-hmm.
those years?
Yeah, for sure. So I think I started Nancy Home Store like 9 years ago, and basically we sold. Like I first did it myself, and then I did with like two other partners that hopped on later. And what we sold mainly was like home goods, so either furniture or home decoration items. Just basically anything for in the house, all rooms of the house, even garden products, and it was doing really well, basically in all these categories. We sold mainly in Europe, so where I'm from, Netherlands, Belgium, all of Scandinavia, so that as well, UK as well, France, Germany, and we really focused on having our own website, which we promoted a lot with Google Ads, Google Shopping, and also Facebook ads, so Facebook and Instagram, Meta ads. And besides that, we also did quite some marketplaces. So not necessarily Amazon, but platforms like Amazon. I would say like 60-70% of our sales came through our Shopify store, and then we had the rest that came through those other platforms as well, which also again from the platforms people will also land on your website because they start Googling your brand, and then from there they also just buy directly from your website.
There was early discovery on that marketplaces, but the actual checkout was on your website.
Yeah, exactly. So we also don't pay them commission, pay for ads. So that's nice.
Very, very good approach.
Yeah, for sure. That's sort of an extra benefit when you get big on those different platforms.
Yes.
And yeah, we also like benefited pretty well from the pandemic, I would say, because people were renovating their homes and stuff, and they needed all types of things for in their house. So yeah, we did really well. Yeah.
Nice. What about all the product management? I mean, how did you think about products? Where did you source those products from?
Yeah, for sure. So we started with local suppliers. So we had a couple different suppliers from Germany. So we just set up our logistics in a really good way that we were basically able to ship directly from all of our suppliers to all of our customers. So we essentially did not need to touch the price ourselves. But when we found basically some bestsellers, like basically the top 10 to top 20 products, we also started to import those directly from China to the Netherlands. We had a 3PL that we were working with to basically got the product cost down even more, and basically just sell that with a higher margin. Looking back on it, I would not be sure if I would do that again because it definitely brings a lot of headaches with it. I definitely learned a lot from it, of course.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you were also working like in other countries, not just in the Netherlands. So you used that 3PL, the inventory was just spread across different countries, or everything was shipped from the Netherlands?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So there was one sort of issue as well with our own stock. Like the 3PL we were working with, they only had one location in like southern part of Netherlands. So shipping to Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, France was fine. Like shipping rates were still like pretty good. They had a good deal. But then if we wanted to ship to Sweden or Norway or Finland, then things got pretty expensive. So yeah, that was definitely a bit of an issue that we were facing, that we couldn't really offer our own products that were in our own warehouse to those countries essentially. So we tended to turn off those SKUs for those specific countries.
Got it. Yeah, just to make the business profitable, right? Because like free shipping and all doesn't work. It's most like bigger items, right? So cost of shipping is considerable.
Yeah, well, like they weren't like big furniture items. They all were sort of like IKEA type things, like in Lotte. Yeah, yes. So yeah, with DPD it was I think like €9 for a shipment, like to Netherlands. But then, for example, from our own warehouse to ship to Norway or Sweden or Finland, like it could be 30, €50.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
crazy.
yes. Yeah. Essentially different. So Lars, many founders out there like just obsessed with traffic and lead gen, right? But eventually, you need to have a site that is able to converge well. So what are the most common conversion killers that you see right now, with your customers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So essentially, there's just a ton of things that should be in place on a website. I basically see sort of the same blueprint for most of the successful e-commerce stores out there I'm seeing, and it's mainly focused on creating a ton of value, perceived value, and a lot of comfort. So you basically got to have these two things, because if you don't have value, like I just mentioned, like having a good offer, a good product that people see value in, and then displaying it really nicely. Nowadays, you can do that with AI, like the imagery and the videos. Then, if the value is not there, then people aren't even gonna think about buying. Of course, first of all, just stores that don't really invest enough time into their imagery and their videos. I just think, especially with technologies of AI, it's just not very smart. Like, you just gotta put like at least a couple days into that just to fix your assortment's imagery and just making that really appealing. And at the same time, not creating enough comfort. I also see a lot, for example, just having a lot of different contact options on the website, so that you're basically inviting people to contact you. That's just something I see work really well. If you like, even if they don't ever contact you, they still see that they can call you, they can live chat with you. Like, all these different contact options are just really trust builders in people's eyes. So yeah, and then of course, once you have those options in place, then also just having good follow up, that you actually are able to close those people into sales. So basically, just not being afraid of talking with people. That's something I see some people also kind of being allergic to in the e-com space, because they're like, I just want them to straight go to like check out straight through my website. I don't want to ever talk with them. Like, you can do that, but you'll just miss out on sales basically. So
Sure.
yeah, it's pretty common mistake as well, I would say.
Yeah. So obviously the metadata, the content itself needs to be compelling, like, as you said, value-based, right? With enough creative and interactive media, like videos, interactive videos, and obviously good pictures, great pictures, content itself, which converts the value, right? That's very, very fundamental. Having these communication channels, like
Yeah,
in a chat bot, right? The ability to fill out a form, to get a quick response, just to make it more a communication.
yeah. Also, there's other contact option. Request a callback is actually really powerful as well. So
As to call back. Got it.
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
nice. Yeah, not risking someone to call back, right? At a reasonable time.
exactly.
That's important. And in terms of the acquisition, what do you see? How do you bring traffic to e-commerce website these days? What's working?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So essentially, I would recommend two channels. So Google Shopping is already, like, I would say, like, golden already since I started like 9 years ago with ecom. It still works the same way. Of course, the I think
And sorry to interrupt you, works both organic and also sponsored, right?
yeah, or getting even get free things. Yeah, you can get free sales from it as well. It's not really scalable, of course, but yeah, for sure. Like, always, just make sure to turn that on. And then also having the actual paid shopping ads, and then being hyper specific with the search terms you're targeting. So you can't directly target search terms with shopping, but you just gotta be very rigorous with negative keywords. That's just the first traffic channel I always recommend to start with. if your product has good search volume. And then secondly, it's meta ads. With the meta, there's basically 3 different creatives. So there's video ads, static image ads, and then catalog ads. All 3 work. You just gotta test a ton of different creatives, test different targeting methods, lookalikes, interest targeting, and eventually when you get to 200 plus tracked orders, you can also go to broad targeting. So those 2 channels I would always stick with. Like, you can try like dozens of different ad platforms, like TikTok, like whatever, but like those 2 always just get the highest ROAS in my experience, Google and Meta ads.
The meta ads is obviously is getting more expensive and more competitive, and the algorithm is changing, right? So can you just
Yeah.
share a few details about that? A lot of transition to AI, and let Facebook or Meta decide, about getting about creatives, or what are your thoughts on this trend?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same with Google, same with Meta. They're using more and more machine learning.
Yeah.
But actually, it's really good. The machine learning that they have, like when you have some purchase history, you have conversion data, then at some point, Facebook just knows who your customer is essentially, and they can just find them for you and serve your ad to those exact people. So CPMs, yeah, they are rising, especially like the last month. It was Black Friday and stuff. Like these CPMs of like 100, $200, but they can charge those CPMs because like the ads are basically just bringing in a good ROAS for people generally. So that's mostly the only thing I always look at. Like I also do look at like conversion rate, CPM and stuff, but the North Star metric is always ROAS. And
Sure.
if you get a 10 ROAS, like 15 ROAS on your ads, like if it's a bit more low ticket and you have good margins, even 4 or 5 ROAS can still be very profitable for you. Then like you can just scale it, right? And yeah, with machine learning, they just get better and better at finding your customers. So with Facebook, you can definitely test a bit more automated campaign as well, like the Advantage Plus. Definitely very solid at this point to also run for getting a ton of sales in.
Yes. How many campaigns you usually run on Meta, just, for testing, for A/B testing, and, how many kind of creators you usually run, for this, for, some kind of for clients?
Yeah, that's a good question. So depends a bit on like the objective of how quickly they want to scale, what the budget is, of course, as well. But essentially, I would say testing budget between $50 to $100 a day. If they're a bit tight on budget, you can even start with like $30 a day just to test the waters. Essentially, I would say that the more budget you have available, the quicker you can get out of the testing phase. But and it also depends on the product price, of course. Like if you sell a $200 item or a $2,000 item, then with a $2,000 item, you'll need to spend quite a bit more money to make your first sale. So that those are the things to definitely keep into consideration. And then when it comes to the amount of creatives, I would say starting with like 5 different creatives and then having like different targeting tests that you do as well. You can do, for example, one for lookalike and then one for interest targeting. And then if you have 5 creatives, there'll be in total basically 10 tests that you're running, right? So that
Yes.
to me would be a solid start.
Fantastic. Yeah. Obviously, it's a work in progress, right? I mean, founders needs to be patient because it takes time to optimize, to figure out what's working and what's not, right?
Yeah.
It's important message to deliver here that it's not working from on the first shot. Sometimes it takes 3 to 6 months, right, to stabilize and to reach the rocks where we're experiencing. So, like organic contact, we used to describe organic contact as a long-term play, right? With SEO and content. Also on the advertising side, you actually spend money, but this money is going to kind of a analysis and learning curve that sometimes takes considerable amount of time, right? We talked about like 3 to 6 months, and to have this patient or working with the right experts who can understand what's happening and do immediate changes. I hear a lot of people just pushing, meta ads training and do everything by yourself. But yeah, you can maybe learn how to click the right checkbox, but trying to figure out analytics, right, and optimization. I think something that comes with years of experience and understanding, right? Work with experts like you. So
Yeah, it can be really quickly, but depends, of course. Also depends on how solid your offer is that you've crafted, how good your website is optimized, how good you follow up with leads. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like it can take a good couple months. Like building a real business, it's not like you're just
and we
getting in
also
web.
know that one channel is not enough today, right, to succeed. I mean, it used to be like that maybe 5 years ago, even, right? But today, it's very difficult to succeed like in one channel, whether it's Meta or Amazon or Google. You need to have like an omni-channel type of strategy. Just one is supporting the other, this holistic effect, right? Have enough budget, right, to spend across these channels to make some kind of an impact. Okay, so Lars, when you start working with new customer, what are the immediate data points or things that are important for you to figure out to understand what's really happening with this customer?
Hmm. Yeah, so when starting with a new store, like just looking at what is happening currently. If they're just starting out, then you really gotta start at the basics, the fundamentals. So the offer, the website, the follow up, all these things that we just discussed. If they're already running ads, then just looking at like the ROAS first of all, just looking at what that is like. If it's already on a profitable level, if it is, then it's just going to be optimizing the different parts of the funnel and just getting it as profitable as possible. And then from there, scaling it up. And if it's not profitable yet, then basically still you just got to optimize all the different parts of the funnel. And then
Mhm.
from there, just first of like the first objective is to just get that ROAS to be on a profitable level that like the store owner is good with, like it's comfortable. They're keeping a good margin basically after ad spend, after cost of goods, shipping, etc. And then from there, scaling it up. But yeah, first is always just looking at the fundamentals of the business and seeing how it's converting at the moment already. And then from there, yeah, you're able to plug the holes, basically get the low hanging fruits done, and then from there, just yeah, scaling the campaigns when possible.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. What about product assortment? What are your thoughts on this for like longer term success of brand?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I recommend having a unique assortment. Like you can still get away with drop shipping from pretty common suppliers, but for like the best longevity, also just building up enterprise value. Also from personal experience, I definitely recommend to just put a lot of effort into that to just have a very unique offering. So if you can, then just your own designs even. So it doesn't mean you need a ton of stock. Like I even have stores I work with that have their complete like own products, and they still sort of half drop ship it because they just order it in like in Asia whenever an order has been placed, basically. So they don't keep any stock themselves. They just have a lead time of like 2-3 months, and they have a really good shipping line with their supplier. That way, still deliver their own designs without having like thousands of inventory value.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, do you believe that the brand over the years need to expand their product line, or they need just to focus on the high runner and just yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for just expanding assortment. Yeah, I think that's always good. Just based on products that are already selling well, maybe having like a new variation of that product, and you can just push that to the past customers, even of that sort of previous version of the product. Um, Expanding into different categories, like related to the current category you're selling, just to sort of expand the amount of options you give people and just being able to capture more customer demand. Yeah, for sure. Like once you have a winning formula, just keep expanding and keep growing the business that way.
Mhm. Lars, where do you see AI being really used and makes a difference, whether on cost or time, in the various aspects of the brand's, overall business?
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great question. When it comes to AI, nowadays, definitely already with the imagery and videos, thankfully, there's no sort of excuse anymore to make your e-commerce brand look like a multi-million dollar brand already. Like basically, you can match all your largest competitors in terms of imagery and videos already with all these different AI generation tools. So that's first of all like revolutionary. Also, you never have to do a photo shoot anymore. Like you can just fully do it with AI. Like maybe it might be slightly better still right now, but like it keeps improving, so it'll get more and more realistic every every year,
Yeah,
every month.
huge progress already. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I would say, a big disruption. Same with copywriting. You just give like Claude, I like pretty well for copywriting.
Okay.
So if you just put like past copies for ads, for example, like primary tags and headlines, if you put those successful ones that you used in the past, you put them all into Claude, and you just tell Claude like, just write similar copies like this. We give it some like principles to stick by, and it can write really like well converting copy for you, honestly. So that just
Mhm.
takes a lot of time out of your hands as well. I would say you don't really need that anymore. Same for like SEO content. You can use it for as well. Um, yeah, those would right now are the main sort of use cases I'm seeing. Um, yeah, maybe even for like uh, coding, like you can use it, of course, as well already. That only gets better and better too. Um, yeah, I would say those are the main things, but still at the end, like the sort of human needs to put everything together, make sure it's all looking good. So I don't really see it being a threat in any way, honestly. I see it just as sort of helpful tools for like good entrepreneurs.
Mhm. Yeah, interesting, interesting. How do you use AI in your business? On the agency side?
So yeah, also for like for stores that we're working with in these use cases. For my own business, how do I use AI? Um, not too much yet, I think, honestly. Maybe I should do it more.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, AI is great, but it also removes a lot of responsibility from our brains to work, right? I mean, that's also our brain to something someone else. I think it's yeah, there's some place we need to stop, right, and just keep the creativity, yeah, on our side, of course, of course. So if we try to do a quick summary, Lars, I mean, if you need to consult and give some tips for brands, how they want to give them some piece of advice, how to grow faster and smarter, let's say in the next 6 months. What are the main things you need to focus on?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say, like we talked about, like one of the pitfalls, just wanting to over optimize everything from the beginning. Like
Yep.
definitely in the beginning, if you're like a starting e-commerce store owner at this moment, just invite people basically to contact you and basically convert them like from a lead into a sale that way, especially when starting out. You can like really shortcut your sort of learning curve that way. You don't need to keep doing that forever, but also to get to know your customers, just to convert those people into sales quickly. You can start with a very low advertising budget and just that way have a guaranteed higher conversion rate. Basically, if you just do it like that,
Yep.
like if you get those people in and you just make sure that you follow up with them properly, then like that, I would say is just one thing that for a starting e-com store is really good advice, just to sort of make your first sales. If you're already doing pretty well and just want to further scale, then I would say just never sort of get lazy with your current funnel. So all the different stages, right? So do not only focus on marketing, because you can probably also improve your conversion rate of your website. Still improve your offer probably. So always be on the lookout for competition as well. See what they're doing and just never get comfortable. So don't overuse AI too much, to keep thinking for yourself regarding like your brand. Keep doing research, and also leverage past customers to buy from you again. Like in my store, like we never really did like any sort of follow up or any fucking customer win back campaigns. Looking back on it, like we had a database of, I think, 50, 70,000 customers. I think never really sent out any campaigns or
I think on the retention side, no efforts.
oh no. And like if I had all that knowledge now that I didn't have then, we would have had so many like free sales. So if you already are established, you have like at least a couple thousand people in your database, then for sure, like if you're not making at least, I would say 10-20% of all your revenue from email and SMS, then just get on that and just capitalize on that opportunity as well, because that's essentially free sales.
Interesting. So if you look at the marketing budget of brands, obviously they have the staff, right? And sponsoring content like, advertising, paid media. How much of the marketing budget should go to like advertising? Different stages of the business.
So the percentage of advertising budget, and in terms of their full budget of
In terms of the marketing budget, let's say.
right, your advertising, I would say like 80-90%, and I would put on email and SMS campaigns.
Wow. Okay. This is again to keep great relations with existing customers and try to upsell, right? Which is much easier than acquiring a new customer.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very cheap. So you don't need to dedicate or allocate like half of your advertising budget to like email, SMS. Like 10-20% should be like more than enough.
Okay.
And yeah, the rest just focus on acquiring new customers. If you're already very established, it might make sense to also invest some in SEO. That's a very long-term game. So for quick results, yeah, I would say 80% ads, 89% ads, 10-20% on email and SMS market.
Obviously, the majority, like by far, the majority of the budget goes to ads, right? And then obviously some organic SEO and email marketing, probably some of the tools and the staff to support that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Great. All right. So how can people find you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I've my own YouTube channel. It's Lars Hauwert, so my name. And yeah, you can check out my website, howardconsulting.com. But yeah, my YouTube is basically where I'm posting like just daily videos, just like how we were talking today. So always it's really nice to.
How is it going for you? How do you like the experience? How long do you spend creating those videos? How is it going for you?
I like YouTube. Yeah, no, I do like it. Like it's just basically just sort of getting everything that's in my brain just written out and then recording a video on it. It's been sort of my process. Just or I'm just walking, or I don't know, doing something, and I just come up with an idea, quickly write it down, and then I just write out sort of the concept after. And yeah, the recording generally goes pretty quickly because I just have the knowledge already in my head, and I don't tend to overcomplicate things either. So yeah, it's really nice.
Just friction, right? And just have a nice topic, build the content around that.
Yeah, definitely. And like people getting value, like they're letting me know that like it's really helping them, then that's honestly like my main accomplishment, like my main goal has been accomplished then already. So that definitely gives me a lot of
Yeah.
joy. And yeah, that's essentially where I'm always just posting new stuff. Typically, like every week.
Are you blocking like certain times in a week to create content, like few videos together? How do you work on these
Yeah,
video creations?
that's interesting question. Like it depends. If I just have like sort of an inspiration thing come up, then I'm like, oh, let me just record this right now while it's like hot on my mind. If I didn't really have that moment, like a few weeks, then yeah, I just block out a few hours to record maybe like 2, 3 videos at once, typically, maybe 4. And yeah, then I just spread them out a bit to upload them on YouTube essentially. But I like to sort of keep it a bit organic, not too forced, so that like whenever I feel like I should make this video, then I make it instead of just forcing myself to sit down and come up with something that, for me at least, doesn't work like amazingly well.
Yeah. Great, Lars. Anything else you want to add?
Not really. Just yeah, great to converse about all the different subjects, and yeah, honored to be on your show, man.
Sounds good, Lars. Wishing you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice day. Talk soon.
Thank you for listening to the end of this episode. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our future content. Explore Vimeo, the video commerce platform that includes live shopping, shoppable video, and social commerce capabilities. Visit Vimeo at www.vimeo.net. We appreciate your support and look forward for bringing you more valuable insights in our next episode.